In the vast expanse of our planet, where continents rise and oceans stretch endlessly, there exists a place so remote, so profoundly isolated, that it has earned the title of the loneliest spot on Earth. This place is Point Nemo, the Oceanic Pole of Inaccessibility, a location in the South Pacific Ocean that lies farther from land than any other point on the globe. To understand Point Nemo is to embark on a journey not only across geography but also through history, science, myth, and imagination. It is a story that begins with the human desire to map the unknown, continues through the technological triumphs of modern navigation, and extends into the realms of literature, space exploration, and cultural fascination. Point Nemo is not merely a set of coordinates. It is a symbol of isolation, a graveyard for humanity's machines, and a reminder of the mysteries that still linger in the world's oceans. The concept of inaccessibility has long fascinated explorers and geographers. For centuries, humans sought to identify the most extreme points of the Earth: the highest mountains, the deepest trenches, the coldest deserts, and the most distant poles. Yet the oceans, covering more than 70% of the planet, presented a unique challenge. Unlike mountains or deserts, oceans are fluid, shifting, and seemingly boundless. To define a point of maximum isolation within them required not only imagination but also advanced mathematics and technology. It was not until 1992 that Croatian engineer Hrvoje Lukatila, using computer models and precise geospatial calculations, identified Point Nemo, located at coordinates 48° 52.6 S1 23° 23.6 W. This point lies approximately 2,688 kilometers, 1,670 miles, from the nearest landmasses: Ducie Island of the Pitcairn Islands to the north, Motu Nui near Easter Island to the northeast, and Mir Island off the coast of Antarctica to the south. The sheer distance from any shore makes Point Nemo the ultimate symbol of remoteness. The name Nemo itself carries layers of meaning. Lukatila chose it in reference to Captain Nemo, the enigmatic submarine commander from Jules Verne's classic novel 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. In Latin, Nemo means no one, a fitting description for a place where no human resides and where the nearest people are often astronauts orbiting hundreds of kilometers above Earth in the International Space Station. The literary connection adds a romantic aura to the location, linking it to the tradition of adventure, mystery, and the human fascination with the sea. Just as Verne's Captain Nemo roamed the oceans in solitude, so too does Point Nemo exist as a solitary marker in the watery wilderness. The discovery of Point Nemo was more than a cartographic curiosity. It was a demonstration of how technology could reveal aspects of the world previously hidden. Lukatila's calculations relied on geospatial software that could measure distances across the curved surface of the Earth with unprecedented accuracy. Before such tools, explorers could only approximate the most remote oceanic locations. The identification of Point Nemo thus represents a milestone in the history of mapping, a reminder that even in the late 20th century, there were still firsts to be achieved in the exploration of our planet. It also underscores the paradox of modernity. At a time when satellites orbit the Earth and global communication networks connect billions of people, there remain places untouched, unvisited, and profoundly lonely. Geographically, Point Nemo is situated in a region of the South Pacific that is strikingly barren. Unlike areas near continental shelves or island chains, this part of the ocean lacks nutrient-rich currents that sustain abundant marine life. As a result, Point Nemo is often described as a biological desert. The waters here are relatively lifeless compared to other parts of the ocean, with few fish, plankton, or larger marine creatures. This scarcity of life contributes to its aura of emptiness. For scientists, Point Nemo offers a unique environment to study ocean circulation, pollution dispersal, and the dynamics of remote ecosystems. Yet for storytellers and dreamers, its barrenness enhances its mystique, making it a place of silence and solitude. One of the most intriguing aspects of Point Nemo is its role as a spacecraft cemetery. Because of its remoteness and lack of human presence, nations have chosen this location as the safest place to deorbit satellites and space stations. When a spacecraft reaches the end of its operational life, engineers calculate a controlled descent that ensures it crashes into the ocean near Point Nemo. Over 260 spacecraft have been deliberately sent to their watery graves here, including the Soviet space station Mir in 2001. Even the International Space Station, when it eventually retires, is planned to meet its end at Point Nemo. This practice highlights the intersection of Earth's most remote ocean with humanity's ventures into space. Point Nemo thus becomes not only a symbol of isolation but also a repository of technological relics, a graveyard where the ambitions of space exploration are laid to rest. The association of Point Nemo with mystery deepened in 1997 when the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration (NOAA) detected a powerful, low-frequency sound in the South Pacific. Dubbed the Bloop, this sound was initially thought to be of biological origin, perhaps produced by a massive sea creature. The fact that it emanated from near Point Nemo fueled speculation and myth. Could there be a giant, undiscovered animal lurking in the depths of the ocean? Was Point Nemo hiding secrets akin to those imagined by Jules Verne? While later analysis suggested that the bloop was caused by ice quakes, large icebergs cracking and breaking apart, the allure of the mystery remains. Point Nemo continues to inspire tales of sea monsters, alien bases, and hidden worlds. Culturally, Point Nemo has captured the human imagination in diverse ways. Writers, artists, and filmmakers have referenced it as a metaphor for loneliness, emptiness, and the unknown. Its connection to Captain Nemo reinforces its literary significance, while its role as a spacecraft graveyard adds a futuristic dimension. In popular culture, Point Nemo is sometimes depicted as a place of secrets, a location where governments hide evidence, or where mythical creatures dwell. These interpretations, while fanciful, reflect the deep psychological impact of isolation. Humans are social beings, and the idea of a place utterly devoid of human presence resonates as both terrifying and fascinating. Point Nemo becomes a canvas onto which we project our fears, hopes, and stories. From a scientific perspective, Point Nemo matters because it highlights the vastness of the oceans and the challenges of studying them. Despite advances in technology, much of the ocean remains unexplored. Point Nemo, with its remoteness and barrenness, serves as a reminder of how little we know about marine ecosystems, ocean circulation, and the impact of human activity on distant waters. Pollution, for example, does not respect isolation. Microplastics and chemical contaminants have been detected even in the waters near Point Nemo, carried by currents from thousands of kilometers away. This demonstrates the interconnectedness of the planet and the global reach of human influence. Point Nemo is not immune to the consequences of industrial society, even though it lies far from human habitation. Symbolically, Point Nemo represents the tension between connection and isolation in the modern world. On the one hand, it is a place defined by absence. No people, no cities, no life. On the other hand, it is connected to global systems of mapping, space exploration, and environmental science. It is both isolated and integrated, lonely yet significant. This duality makes it a powerful metaphor for contemporary existence. In an age of digital connectivity, individuals often feel isolated despite being surrounded by networks. Point Nemo embodies this paradox, reminding us that isolation can exist even in a connected world. In reflecting on Point Nemo, one cannot help but consider its broader implications. It is a place where human ambition meets natural emptiness, where technology intersects with geography, and where myth collides with science. It is a graveyard for spacecraft, a desert for marine life, and a beacon for imagination. It challenges us to think about isolation, connection, and the limits of exploration. It reminds us that even in the 21st century, there are places that remain profoundly mysterious. And it invites us to dream, to imagine what lies beneath the waves, and to ponder the meaning of loneliness in a world that is otherwise so interconnected. Ultimately, Point Nemo is more than just a point on a map. It is a story, a symbol, and a mystery. It is the loneliest spot on Earth, yet it is rich with meaning. Its history, from discovery to cultural fascination, reveals the complexity of human engagement with the unknown. Its geography, defined by remoteness, underscores the vastness of the oceans. Its role as a spacecraft cemetery connects it to the future of space exploration.